Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Hearthstone's Perils in Paradise miniset arrives on Tuesday, only 2 more days to go. We're getting some new legendaries, some new travel locations, some new tourists, and in this video I'm going to take a look at the new upcoming Death Knight cards. Death Knight has been my favorite class in Perils of Paradise. You can play all sorts of mid-range control style deck. There's just so much to choose from. Death Knight also gets to use many of its new cards. You can play various types of Rainbow Death Knights. You can be more focused on that Shaman synergy with Razzle Dazzlers, or you can be a little bit more focused on just Corpsicle and blasting the opponent. You can go even more aggro by playing more of a Frost Death Knight, good old Frost Death Knight. And I actually even played a Blood Death Knight a couple of days ago and had a blast playing it. So just some good old-fashioned control style. There's so many things Death Knight can do, and Death Knight, while it doesn't have any really overpowered decks for Perils in Paradise, it has a whole bunch of viable decks. So what does Blizzard want to do with Death Knight now Death Knight's already in such a good position? Well, there are a couple of things about Perils in Paradise where Death Knight didn't quite land where they maybe wanted them to, one of them being the Deathrattle theme. And for Death Knight, the miniset is largely going to focus on helping out Deathrattle Death Knight. The first card is Travel Security, a 6-mana 2/2 undead with Taunt and a Deathrattle to summon a random 8-cost minion. Well, paying 6 mana for a random 8-drop with the current power level of the game might not be that attractive, but Deathrattle Death Knight has some ways to make things happen multiple times. You can combine Travel Security, for example, with Brillbone Buccaneer. Whenever you play a Deathrattle minion, give it Reborn, so then you're going to get a couple of those random 8-drops. And that's not all, because Deathrattle Death Knight is also getting some more new tools. The second miniset card for Death Knight is Eternal Layover. 4 mana, 1 Unholy Rune, give all minions Reborn, then destroy all minions. Yes, your minions and your opponent's minions. But if your minions have Deathrattle and your opponent's minions don't, then you get those Deathrattle effects, you get those minions back, they're ready to Deathrattle again. And because all of your opponent's minions were destroyed and then they were reborn, that means that they now have 1 health. Well, do you have any ways to deal 1 damage? Oh my, as a Death Knight you actually do. For example, with the new Horizon's Edge, deal 3 damage randomly split among all enemies. After a friendly minion dies, reopen this. So you can Horizon's Edge them down, or you can just use something like a crop rotation. Summon for 1/100 with Rusted Die at the end of turn. So Eternal Layover having the double use of making your Deathrattle minions more effective, and on the other hand also serving as partial board clear, and make it quite powerful. And last but not the least, Death Knight is also going to get a new tutor spell. 2 mana, 2 Unholy Runes, Soul Searching. Discover a card from your deck, spend 5 corpses to copy it, Shadow Spell School. I do love tutor effects a lot. Obviously there's no universal tutor in Hearthstone, it's still just a discover, so you get to choose from 3 options, you don't get to choose any card from your deck. The biggest questions I have about this card is 2 Unholy Runes. Which Death Knight deck plays 2 Unholy Runes right now? Well, there's Plague Death Knight, because this third quality requires 2 Unholy Runes, the weapon requires 2 Unholy Runes. There's some forms of Deathrattle Death Knight, especially ones that run Grave Strength, give minions +1 attack, spend 5 coins to give them +3 instead. So those are the kinds of decks that currently play 2 Unholy Runes. That sadly limits the decks that you can put this in a little bit, but when you find a deck where you can put this in, then just getting discoveries, getting that consistency, and maybe even getting those doubles can really help you out. So these 3 are the new Death Knight miniset cards coming to Hearthstone on Tuesday. Meta is about to change once again, and Death Knight getting some more support for these Deathrattle archetypes. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.